Hello, Professor Bright here. And we're, well, mostly on time. 3 minutes late, if you want to be technical about it. But I mean, come now. There was work to be done. Things that needed to be attended to. And plans that needed to be made, because, well, we're here because the Reach was changed, you see. The Reach was updated to put it in line with how they did Albion and Eleutheria. And so I wanted to check it out, see how it actually is. So we are going to be, well, abandoning Clark. Well, I've abandoned many people, actually. The two Clarks, Ahern, Bailey. Bailey here, he is, well, he's not doing so hot. So we are, actually, you know what? We're going to test something out, because I'm curious. I don't know, it says game version that. 1 second, I do want to test something out. We're going to start a new game. On a merciful campaign, we're just going to go right into it. Just a random captain will do for me. We just want to get a little bit of an exploration of Bailey. They're always Bailey. There we go, Connolly, you'll do. But yes, we just want to get a quick glance at the new Reach. And after that, well, that'll be the last Sunless Skies episode for a long while. Couldn't put it off any further. I mean, I did miss 2 weeks of this, but, well, that's neither here nor there. No, I don't need any of these lessons. Thank you very much, though. Well, accidentally shot something. Already it seems much more misty than it did before. That's a little bit worrisome. Can't help but notice all this green fog we got here. Interesting. But no, as I was saying, this is going to be last Sunless Skies episode for, well, a long while, I should say. And by episode, of course, I mean stream. Sorry, I'm more of a YouTuber than anything else, so, well, you know, terminology gets mixed up. But no, what'll be replacing this? I'm not sure yet. It's either, well, realistically, it's either going to be Sunless Sea, because I do have some unfinished business with that game. Plus, it would give me hints as to what's happening in Sunless Skies when it does release. Or we could go back to House of Many Doors, which, oh, I love the story. The gameplay, not so much. We'll see, we'll see. In the meantime, might as well recruit him. No reason not to, after all. What else we got? Just the Fastidious Inspector? We'll offer a passage. Won't necessarily go after where she wants us to go, but we'll see what's out there. We will see. Now, the thing I was curious about, though, if I return to the title screen, yes. Question. So see, if I did load into this one, it would bring us to... Okay. Well, that's interesting. So they will actually update that character to be in line with their new map. Okay. There's a better way to phrase that, but we'll just take our old captain, just because... I mean, it's just the Reach, after all. It shouldn't be too dangerous. Oh, dearie me. 1 moment, please. Need to just adjust you a tad. Don't really need to adjust the volume there that much, but, well, it's just a precaution in case we get some loudness spikes from, say, that. Which actually didn't spike too bad, so maybe I don't need to decrease the volume at all. Huh. Well, what's done is done, and I'm not going to be undoing it. Not going to be fiddling with it. We would just end up changing things repeatedly instead of actually making progress in exploring the new Reach, which I see has some bioluminescence to it. Well, I say. Also has a bit of a performance issue on this old machine. Huh. Curious. Ooh. What have you done to the Reach? fellas. It looks very much more overgrown than it used to. Oh my. Look at the size of those stones. Am I in... I mean, I'm lagging a little bit, which is kind of upsetting. But, am I near Port Avon? What do you find? Oh, already found a port. Interesting. Ooh, and I see those big leafy funguses. Or what appear to be funguses. Oh, sure, go ahead. Do your thing. Go, shoo. Scatter. I have works to do. Performance seems to have decreased a bit, but that could very well be my computer just being, well, my computer today. My understanding is that they haven't actually changed anything with the ports, so really we're just here as a tourist. We'll take you on, why not? No reason not to that I'm aware of. And let's actually, while I'm thinking of it, assign you to your posts. I don't know, keep going. Oh my. Performance shouldn't be this bad though. Hold on a moment. Do I have anything else that is open that should be causing such a thing? Nothing I see, at least. Hum. Okay. I mean, I do have Chrome open, and I know Chrome is a bit of a memory hog, but I wouldn't think it would be that bad. Oh? Your newly acquired repentant devil is standing most unrepentantly over a body in the hallway. Inspect the deceased. You don't recognize him. One of your crew, but the deceased is no one you the deceased is no one you know. A stranger on your locomotive. Peculiar luggage you've brought aboard, says one of the crew when some others have gathered. Wouldn't have thought it would fit in your little bag. First, clean up. It wouldn't do to leave the body in the hall. Then your repentant devil can explain himself. He's still got the blood on his cuffs. Explain. Officers who generate corpses on your locomotive are a liability. He was a stowaway, explains the devil indifferently. He's been stalking me for more than a month. Thought I lost him when I came aboard. Then he turned up in my quarters. From the body is lifted a clinking bag of souls. Perhaps he was sent to bribe me rather than kill me. He tilts his head to consider the soul collection. Apparently thinks I'm a cheap hire, if so. The devil's gaze reverts to you. I regret to say that this is probably not the last time this happens. I may be destined to attract negative attention. No great concern. As long as my crew don't get injured, I don't especially mind. Oh my. Oh, hello. The Traitor's Wood? Oh my. If we're at the Traitor Wood, then there should be another port right here. Is it all much more densely packed then, perhaps? Than it used to be. Compared to how it used to be. Curious. Because the Traitor Wood, well, Traitor's Wood, I should say, as I recall, was an entire port. With a mysterious creature in a forest. And all sorts of unpleasantness, and this is getting a little more claustrophobic than I would like. Are you purely organic, or are you something more ruinous? Might just be roots, but could be something else. Interesting. I definitely like what they've done with the place. The Reach definitely feels much more alive than it did before. It seemed fairly empty. I definitely appreciate the change. This feels much more like a forest and has paths now. Oh, is the whole thing gonna be like a series of tunnels then? Oh, that could be cool. Oh, this is cool. I am into this. Okay. Interesting. The best not to think about it. Good name. Mourn the dead, it's proper, and we're just gonna move right along. Thank you very much, sir. Ooh, what are you? Hello, turret. Kinesmere. I wonder if this, in the finished game, is going to actually be like, these are going to be actual turrets. Because they might. You never know. Oh. Cool, 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 cool. Oh. They decided they want a piece. Well. Oh, dearie me. Just get a few good shots in there. Oof. You explode real well. Oh. Sky madness. Just kill him. Get rid of him. It's for the best, you understand. Oh good, they fixed that thing where it wouldn't tell you if you succeeded or not. Delightful. Ah, that makes things so much simpler. Okay. Well, that's a disturbing sound. You just, get a little bit of this water in me. Oh dear. The candle wind. Which is currently eating my supplies. Well. Oh, hey. You look interesting, but I can't deal with you right now because I'm in the candle wind. Interesting how forested this area is. Oh. Dearie me. I am going to go ahead and not engage that. You look both big and full of cargo, and while one of those things is great for me, the other makes me think you're going to do that more. Oh dear, I am so many kinds of dead. Oh hey, the Parsifal. I mean, cool. Oh, approaching the Parsifal. The engine drifts unhappily through the sky. Some unholiness keeps the front of the engine tethered to the rest, despite the eruption of corpse-white fungus that divide the train. The locomotive's side is scored with black scars. The name Parsifal can be made out in brass letters on its side. The first engine through the avid horizon, the navigator whispers. London's pride once. Captained by Lieutenant Commander Percy Blythe. She was to chart new horizons beyond Albion. Never came back. Board the Parsifal. What happened to the first engine in the high wilderness? Its doors are sealed, its lights dim, it drifts in the currents, mangled by fungal extrusions. Didn't quite read it there. Bolt cutters and pry bars are required to break the outer door. Its locking mechanism is antiquated. Excuse me. Its locking mechanism is antiquated and slickened with an oily substance. You wrench the door open and are immediately greeted with a cloud of yellowing spores. Your vision blurs just as your navigator torches them, igniting the air with burning fungus. A few gaslights flicker on the walls. The scratchy sounds of a gramophone can be heard. Still more majestic shalt thou rise, more dreadful, from each foreign stroke, as the loud blast that tears the skies serves but to root thy native oak. Curious. Spores drift through broken carriages like dying fireflies. Recruitment posters bearing Her Renewed Majesty's face molder molder on the walls. Excuse me. Music, scratchy but distinct, echoes through the empty carriages. A great wall of pulsing fungus separates the back of the engine from the front. In the first designs for London's engines, the captain always roomed towards the back of the train, for their protection. Plush seats surround a decaying paper map placed on a mahogany table. Drinks, some floating with mildew, have been poured in glasses around the table. Maps hang from sprouting fronds like peeling wallpaper. Spores float gently through the room. Logbooks lie scattered about the table. None date from after 1897. The engine's destination was to be the Trader's Wood. The last entry regards a stop at Hybris, which they named Hybrisil. Something was brought on board. The captain's bunk has collapsed in a pile of rotten wood and infected bedsheets, wet with fungal growths. Here's a health unto Her Majesty with a fa-la-la-la-la, la-la-la. Confusion to her enemies. Investigate the armory, I'm curious. What's this? Just visions of Parzival. Or a vision of the Parzival. Investigate. An explorer engine like the Parzival would have been stocked for all eventualities. The solid iron walls of the armory are stained and rotted with sporing bodies. Lockers hang open, revealing decaying and antiquated disguise suits, the old design with thermal chest plate and brass buttons for fastenings. Several of your crew coo appreciatively, but back away when a prodding of one suit reveals a fruiting colony of golden black mushrooms has sprouted within. Among the outdated and unused weaponry, you uncover a trove of novels. Fanciful stuff, but all concerned with the possibilities of space travel and the interaction between modern man and the alien. Send her victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us. Well, what other choice do we have? Breach the fungus. Shivering spasms of festering fungus separate the front of the train from the rest. The only way forward is through. You organize your hardiest stokers into a rota, slowly but steadily widening the gap between the pallid walls of quivering fungal flesh. The smell is direful, as are the ominous bulges protruding from the mushroom bulk. Thanks to your capable direction, however, a wide path is cleared straight through the fungus, bisecting it like two lungs, separated by the trachea. You pass through unharmed. Still more majestic shalt thou rise, more dreadful from each foreign stroke, as the loud blast that tears the skies serves but to root thy native oak. Oh boy, the front of the engine is even more infected with sprouting mushrooms and sporing fungal growths. I might have to cut this early because my voice is sort of killing me. Move on. The engine room lies ahead, seemingly the source of the persistent movement. Before that, however, it's a haze of spores running the corridor ahead, entirely noxious. Explore the crew cabins. In locomotives as old as this, the crew were always assigned bunks near the engine room. The sounds of the gramophone are louder here. Battered metal and tormented wood paneling comprise the confines in which the crew dwelled. Chubby toadstools round as pastries dot the cramped bunk beds. Mementos of home are scattered about the fruiting debris. Slim volumes of Arnold and Blake, vials of honey, and engravings of simple domestic scenes can be found under every bunk. You also uncover a little tally chart on a folded-up bit of paper. Seems the crew were organizing a whip-around for their commander's retirement present. They'd settle on a plot of land on Port Prosper. On thee our hopes we fix. God save us all. A little bit grim. Traverse the sporing carriage, though. Fruiting sacks send clouds of vitriolic orange into the air. Passing through will be hazardous to the health. The engine room is just beyond, though. Our first failure. You go low and your crew disappear behind you, lost in a haze of orange and gold. Above, sacks of sporing fungus encrusted to the metalwork begin to erupt. Showers of spore and viscous liquids render the train still more hazardous. You feel a peculiar sensation. Your hands tingle, as though wishing to reach out, to touch the fungus as though for one more drink. You increase your speed. There's a cry behind you. You turn to see one of your crew, a particularly distractible signaler, has entered the miasma after you. Her hands are in a mound of virulent gold fungus, then so is the rest of her. The scene is lost to another shower of spores. You press on, towards the engine room. The engine room is before you. Light and music spill from under the door, queasy and persistent. Well, enter it, of course. The thick steel door is scored with bullet holes and is held in place by tendrils of ropey white fungus. As you approach, you notice the damage done to the walls, riddled with bullets, old stains on the carpet. An attack was mounted on the engine room. You can hear music loud and clear from inside. An eerie green light pours through the hinges like flood water. You push open the door. The engine room is cold as a sunless sky. Your breath hangs in long chains before you. The boiler's off. The infernal gramophone sits atop the boiler. The music is no better for being closer to it. Before you lies a danse macabre of fungus and corpses, hand and frond. On the wall, suspended by fungus, is a body in a captain's uniform. Investigate, of course. What happened here? The corpses bear bullet wounds. They are unmarred by fungus, decaying in peace. Amongst the rank insignia, you spot a first officer, a chief engineer, and a conductor. All died violent deaths. They are far too few to amount to the full crew. The boiler, a battered, antiquated, wheezing contraption, stands silent and broken. Strips of iron hang in front of it as though it had suffered an explosion. Inside, you find fungus amidst the ashes, clumps and clusters of tendrils that sprout from the charcoal. When burnt, the spores would have infected the whole engine. Oh. And when the siege is over, we to the town repair. The townsmen cry, "Hurrah, boys, here comes a grenadier." Intriguing. So the coal, when burnt, sprouted these spores, which infected the entire, literally the entire engine, the Parzival. Oh dear, that's upsetting. Well, we'll examine the captain's corpse. Here lies all that remains of Lieutenant Commander Percy Blythe. The corpse of the finest officer of his generation hangs from the wall, suspended by chains of pale fronds. His skin is sallow, and there are strands of golden fungus across his cheek, as though a sun sits beneath the skin. His eyes open. Percy Blythe looks down on you. Blue fruiting heads speckle his beard like hanging seaweed. Next to him, the gramophone crackles out its dreary anthems of years past. His mouth opens too wide as he speaks. His jaw cracks. Some talk of Alexander and some of Hercules, of Hector and Lysander and such great names as these. But of all the world's heroes, there's none that can compare with a tow row, 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 row to the British Grenadiers. Oh, this is just terrible. Why are we listening to this? Why are we not running? Well, suspended from chains of fungus, Percy Blythe begins to stir, improbably alive. He fixes his gold-flecked eyes on you, as his mouth begins to move as though wanting to speak. Somehow, he is alive. He groans, his mouth opens impossibly wide, and a cloud of yellow spores emerge. I am all that's left. An oily liquid begins to drip from his left eye. I am a child of the grave garden. The voice alters, becoming more clipped, more static, like that of the voices on the gramophone. I am Lieutenant Commander Percy Blythe. I am captain of the Parzival. My task was to explore the wilderness and return home with the new discoveries. He groans as though weeping. I am all that remains. I want to go home. What happened here? How did the Parzival end up in this condition? We met the children on Hybris. We sought to know each other, wanted to go to the wood, wanted to see what was kept from us. Percy is drooling as he speaks. The gramophone clicks as yet another patriotic dirge begins to play. Percy Blythe struggles in his bonds, pulling himself up to stand a little straighter. We made contact on Hybris. The fungus was so bright, so beautiful. His eyes shine gold. I brought it aboard. God forgive me. I wanted the crew to see, to know. Oil leaks from those hollow eyes. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Some came willing. Others refused to join us. We had to... He breaks off into silence, staring away into the middle distance. Had to do what, friend? What happened to you? How can he be alive? Percy Blythe launches into a long, meandering, slurred story of children and gardens, of a cruel king who needed but did not love his subjects, despite their love for him, of knowledge denied and growth unchecked, of tyranny and freedom, of grief and betrayal and longing. The music bursts into sudden life. Percy jerks and fixes you with an infected eye. I was stupid. I thought we would be welcome here. And we were. We were welcomed. We were loved. The children, the verdants, they wanted us. He begins to sob. It was a sad, squelching sound. Ooh. A cruel king who needed but did not love his subjects, despite their love of him. Curious. Console him, I suppose. Not the most cautious thing, but empathy and all that. Something of the man remains. You approach gingerly, fishing for a handkerchief in your pocket. Reaching up, you begin to dab at the oily tears that scour the Lieutenant Commander's face. Beneath the grime, you can see Percy's flesh is remarkably well preserved, save for the vibrant tendrils of golden fungus running beneath the skin. "Thank you," he whispers. "Who didst brood upon the chaos dark and rude, and bid its anger tumult cease, and give for wild confusion peace. O hear us when we cry to thee for those in peril on the sea." Well, can the Parzival still fly? The answer is almost certainly no, but there's no harm in asking. No, the Lieutenant Commander hisses, his eyes rolling in his head. Sabotage, mutiny, ignorance, no fuel. The children too greedy, spread too fast like fire. The engine is broken, the crew all gone. I am alone. Intriguing. What does he want now? Lieutenant Commander Percy Blythe lets out a low moan and slumps forward. The chains of fungus adjust to accommodate this despair. Home, he slurs like a man drunk demanding another drink. On Hybris, Mother spored us there. She set out her children across the stars to learn. The Traitor's Wood, we were forbidden from entering here, but now its king is dead. But this craft failed before we could arrive. The body jerks as though shot. Percy's face rises to face you. London, he rasps. London. Lieutenant Commander Percy Blythe, decorated hero of London's forces, first captain through the avid horizon, gazes at you, slack-jawed and unseeing. Please, he rasps, take me home, or finish this. We just want to know what was kept from us in Traitor's Wood. Why did our king not love his children? I mean... Blythe hangs listless in front of you, apparently exhausted. His head lolls and his gaze is dull. What is to be done? Take him to Traitor's Wood. Let him complete his last mission. The remnant of Percy Blythe does not appear to register your response. His head bobs with the tilting of the locomotive. You begin cutting the body down. It is a task only made more difficult by the discovery that most of the far wall is in fact a rubbery sort of mushroom, whose weak yellow flesh is entirely embedded in Blythe's back. You're forced to cut down a whole section of the wall, exposing the metal shell of the Parzival, and carry Blythe out upon it. On board your engine, he mutters and twitches as though diminished by the separation. You leave the Parzival drifting alone in the sky. Well, this is also a problem, but one I might be able to deal with. Well, shoot. That's upsetting. I just got to a story and then it decided to kill me. I want to go back. Yeah, that's fascinating and all. The corpse is a corpse. We don't care about it. At least not especially. Oh, no. Oh, dearie me. That's some poor piloting we got going on there. Will it be in the same location, I wonder? I am curious. Let's see what happens. Right? Also, we need to find the dock which leads us to the Traitor's Wood. The Traitor's Wood proper, I should say. Back to the left. Why did the king not love his children? The spores were his children. Golden spores. I wonder. I have my theories. The question is what the king was. The mother is this sort of fungus, clearly. But what was the king? Was the king the star that ruled this place? The judgment, I should say, that ruled this place? I think we can safely assume that to be the case, but... Alright, shift. I don't want to deal with you. I will if I have to, though. Really now. Kind of upset that these guys are so much faster than I am, or at least that they can always keep pace with me. Kind of means I'm forced to do combat with them. I don't want to do the combat now. I'm not in the mood. Buggeration. Delightful. And now to finish this one off, so I don't have to deal with it. Well, perhaps better to just run. At this stage, yes, let's just run. Look, I just don't want to fight you guys, okay? Just stay in your little spot. Go, have fun over there. Oh, for the love of... Is there a particular reason for this? Because I can't imagine what it would be. Oh, I missed the bloody... Okay, go back to where you belong. Do your thing. More importantly, I missed the Parzival. Or the turn to get to the Parzival. Which we're going to need to speed through real quick now because, well, I want to see what's there. Hello, what are you? You appear to be a duck. Oh, come now. Oh. Did it find something else? More importantly, is that something else a way to dock at the Traitor's Wood? Oof. It appears I've reached a dead end of sorts. Upsetting, but not surprising. Oh, that's the sound of the little dreadnought there doing its whole turret nonsense. I'm just gonna get out of the way of that. You guys have fun. I'm afraid I don't think I can go much further with this. And just because of how much time I have left. I don't know, I've been feeling a bit drained recently. Hopefully we can find a dock in the Traitor's Wood. Because that was a place we could dock before. It's just been expanded into a whole thing. Unless it wants me to go to Port Avon, perhaps. Perhaps. Maybe. We'll see, we'll see. We'll experiment to see what we find. No. No, not gonna fight you. You just stay there. Mm-mm. 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 None of this, please. Oh, if the Parzival isn't here, I'm going to be slightly disappointed. Won't be surprised, but I will be disappointed. Oh, hey! Wow, you just came out of nowhere. Oof. Okay, well. Board the Parzival for the obvious reasons. I don't know if I necessarily have to do all this stuff, but I want to. Oh, this one failed this time. Sabers serve to hack away the plump, bulging intrusions. It peels away like flesh carved from a roasted pig. The smell is considerably worse, though. The work is slow going. These twitching sheaths of fungus are of enormous size and depth. An American stoker remembers the redwood trees of his youth. So America is a country in the Sunless Skies universe. Interesting. Eventually, enough of the path is cleared to allow you to progress. It's a tight squeeze between the walls of livid flesh, allowing you to see the bulges within up close. Bulges the same shape and size as you. And then you're through. Narrow success there. You go alone. Your crew disappear behind you, lost in a haze of orange and gold as before. But then there's a cry behind you. You turn to see one of your crew, a particularly distractible signaler, has entered the miasma after you. Her hands hover over a mound of virulent gold fungus, as though transfixed. You call out, risking spores entering your mouth, and begin to run. Your signaler flinches and draws back just as the fungus pops, emitting an iridescent cloud. You see briefly an image of an old, marshy place, bedecked with sprawling fungus, a large tower of wobbling mushroom. A word enters your head. Mother. You come to with your signaler crouched over you. You send her back to safety. You're fine, you're fine. You press on. Enter as we would. Investigate. Examine the corpse. As before. Just gonna do the same thing over again. Consoling. Probably not for the best, because we're gonna make some bad choices. I'm gonna take you to Traitor's Wood, buddy. Hopefully this will end well, and not disastrously, which I suspect it will be ending. You know, disastrously, because of course it will be. Due in no small part because I'd have no idea where the Traitor's Wood is exactly. But, well. And yes, excuse the creaking. I don't like how much faster than me that thing is. But are you more maneuverable, sir? Doesn't appear to be as maneuverable as I am, though. Which is for the best, really. Loop that hold. Vision of the heavens? Fair enough. God, that was worrisome. Alright. Cruise control. Huh. Yes, of course. I'm almost out of water again. Ugh. Dearie me. Was a lot of talking back there. Perhaps should have prepared more. Why are you here, little scribe spinster? I don't have any quarrel with you. An engineer cries out, her voice hoarse as a professional mourner. It's gone, she points to one of the stained glass windows. A star had winked out. You look through the glass, stars burn upon the firmament. The specific patch of sky she's pointing to is indeed empty, but you couldn't say if a star had been there before. Oh dear. Set a watch on the stars. Is it true? If you organized a rotor of observers, would you see it happen? It'll mean exposing the watchers to the star's perilous sky. On the third night, you're aroused by the cries of a watchman. They have indeed witnessed another star die, or so you deduce from their panicked ravings. Their distress does not ease as the night passes, but you are forced to confine them to quarters. Your crew begin to engage in some gloomy mathematics. How often are stars dying? How many stars are there in the sky? How long until all is dark? Worrisome questions all. So that's interesting. It's an idea that had been mentioned in the... Oh, God, no. Yeah, at this point I don't think this is survivable. Or maybe it is. Maybe by some good fortune this is survivable. If we just move far enough, fast enough, perhaps. We'll find out. I'm also seeing more ruins of a clearly civilized nature. Right, no supplies. Yes, thank you for reminding me. Could you not do that? Please. What's this? Horror. Oh, good. Well, I mean, we might as well see it. You hear the heart of the wood, silent and solemn. Work alongside the crew. The regent's grave. Here at the heart of the forest, a great barrow built from ancient stone stands. Gates of star-forged bronze block the entrance. Something is whispering from the other side. The gates will not budge. The metal scrapes and screams against the rock, and your arms strain with the effort, but the gate holds fast. The whispering increases in volume from the darkness, but fades away as it becomes apparent you won't succeed. Inlaid in the metal of the gate are 3 hollows, the shape of seals. You can see no sign of any such object nearby. Perhaps the station at Traitor's Wood might be a starting point. Oh. Well, aren't you intriguing? Okay, you need to stop that, sir. Curious, 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 curious. Well, we found some interesting things here today. We're gonna head back to Port Avon, or at least try to head back to Port Avon. Some stew tonight. Had to eat someone, but we do what we must. Such is the cost of survival. That terrible calculus. Oh, good. We have music that reminds me of, Morricone's soundtrack to The Thing. Good! 'Cause that's what we were missing here. So part of me wants to go further with this, but another part of me realizes that's a bad idea. For multiple reasons. I reckon I might get trapped doing that. Feast on the remains, of course. There are corpses to consume. What? A mutiny? Oh, but I did... Oh. Well. That's interesting. You know, I had read that they'd changed how fear works here. Okay. Rally the remaining crew in resistance. Will they come to your call? And if they do, will they be enough? The answer is no. They do not come. You wait for the mutineers on the bridge. Damned if you'll go down without a fight. Your pistol keeps them at bay until you run out of bullets. Then your fists punish their temerity when they try to lay hands on you. When your hands are bound, you bite. In the end, gagged and tied, you are flung out into the empty sky. Your tale is told. Well, it's a touch short, but I'm starting to slur my words. And we've seen some of what the new Reach offers. I'm uncertain what I want to do. Part of me says explore more and do this again on Saturday. Next Saturday, of course. Another part of me says wait until full release. Wait until January. Another part of me is saying, look, we got Sunless Sea, we got House of Many Doors. There are other games to be played on Saturdays. And I still need to find something to do Tuesdays and Thursdays, so... I don't know. We have many choices, but for now, thank you for your time. Those of you on YouTube, note the like, comment, and subscribe buttons below. Use them responsibly, and I will see you all soon. Those of you on Twitch, thank you very much for your time as well, of course. But we have a follow button. It's a nice little follow button. We appreciate it if you press it. Not required, of course. But thank you very much for your time. And I will see you all on Tuesday with a new game, a new plan. Something I probably should have checked out much earlier. But we'll see you there. Bye-bye.